Yo, what's going on, everyone? I got this 7 Deadly Sins Season 4 discussion, you know, with my boy Max. And I just want to let you guys know, before the video, there are spoilers here, major spoilers. So if you haven't watched the new season, watch it, then come back to this video. Also, let me know if you guys would like to see more discussions or like review type things, in the near future. Comment that down below for the two people who actually, watch my videos. So yeah, let's get right into the video now. What's going on, everyone? I'm back at it again with a new YouTube video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the 7 Deadly Sins Season 4 and how it really wasn't that bad. I got my boy LlamaFilms over here, aka Max. And we're going to be discussing, a lot of the good and the bad points of the season. But for the most part, I think that there was a lot more, good points to the season. So I'm going to start it off right now with the story, okay? I felt that the story in this season was a lot better compared to the previous two seasons. There's a lot more development with things going on in the world. There's a lot more, we learned a lot more about what was really going on in like the whole entire, like the war, 3,000 years ago, and just we understood a lot more things that was happening, like with the Ten Commandments, like I said, the war, and like Meliodas, like the curse that him and Elizabeth have.
I'll jump in real quick and I'll kind of reiterate what you're saying. The previous two seasons, they were great, don't get me wrong, very action-packed, but as you're watching it, as I watched season 1, 2, 3, whatever you watched it on Netflix, however you watched it, I felt as though, when I was watching it, it was a good show to just, kick back and watch, but there wasn't really anything getting explained. In my head, I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of plot holes here, like, why is this happening? Who's Meliodas? Why is he, alive? Why does he come back? Who's the Demon King? And I felt in this season they really strove to hit it home when it came to the actual story. A lot of people were disagreeing with how the animation was set up and everything, but honestly, if you're going to have a season where your animation was going to be subpar, this was the season to do it. A lot less action and a lot less story and a lot more storytelling in this season made it a lot more enjoyable to watch, regardless of animation, in my opinion.
Alright, piggybacking over here on the animation real quick. I don't know, like Netflix fixed it up a little bit for the dub and for the sub too, but I really, apart from, really the Escanor and Meliodas fight, I really didn't notice anything, too major. There might have been a couple things here or there, like if I stop the, like the episode, but I don't really do that, honestly. Like, the animation, was it as good as the other two seasons? No, but like, was it really that bad? No, it wasn't really that bad. I think people were just complaining for absolutely no reason.
Maybe not for absolutely reason. People had high expectations. Season 1 and 2 were really good. Everybody was really getting their hopes up for season 4's animation. But you gotta cut them some slack. If everybody knows, they had some problems with the broadcasting company. In Japan, they couldn't really get an earlier slot. So, we saw that, white blood that everybody was complaining about in the first, half of the season. They started to fix that. And you can tell at some points in the series where they started to maybe get a little bit lazy, start doing some CGI that didn't actually look all that good. But like I said, if you go with the story and you go with how this season was set up, you didn't really need all that fight animation that you had in season 2 and 1. I felt as though this was a really good season overall, and I felt that it had a lot of strong points.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go out and say it. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this fact, but Hawk makes the show, okay? Without Hawk in the 7 Deadly Sins, I don't think it'd be as enjoyable as it is now. This dude in this season somehow got funnier, okay?
I see, the thing with Hawk is, I don't know why, I'll be online and I'll be seeing people that get mad whenever they see Hawk and think that he ruins the show. I think people just take his role too seriously. Like, I think people are actually expecting this guy to actually, like, be relevant. He's there for comic relief, he's there to just, lighten the mood, and I feel like he's done that every single season. And that's his entire role. I mean, I don't know why people are expecting Hawk to save the day every single time. He's there for comedic relief, he's there to kind of like just be a wedge between the action that's going on and the emotions, and I feel like they put him in at really good points.
Alright, I thought another really good point to this season, honestly, were the Ten Commandments, because we got a little bit more history on them, and they actually started to make sense. Okay, because last season they kind of just introduced them, they fought them, and we literally knew jack shit about them. We didn't know anything about. They just came in and said, yeah, we're the bad guys, fight us right now, I want to kill you.
Looking at like Zeldris, looking at Esterosa and their character development, to me, season 2 and season 2 season 3, whatever you want to call it, I was like it was like they were terrifying. They were like these foes that everybody feared. But this season, we see Meliodas, when he comes to his emotions, he kind of just like takes control over the Ten Commandments, and he's like, yeah, this is my territory, you guys can't do anything. To me, it made them a little less intimidating, but it made their role very important. We see in this season how we learn about the Demon King's powers and how the Ten Commandments are comprised of half of it. I thought that was really cool, and it kind of explains, why these demons are so strong and the whole point to the show. It's really driving the show in a direction we can see an end, and I think that's really important to the actual development of the show itself.
Okay, going on the Ten Commandment, topic, Meliodas was a lot better this season, okay? If only he was just like a lot more badass this season, okay? And in the fact that he and him, Zeldris, and even now Esterosa can take other people's commandments away and put it towards their own, I found that like really cool, that they can just get more powerful by taking the other commandments, because they have that ability.
My perspective of the show is only the anime side. I don't read the manga, and I try not to get spoiled by it. I know some people, prefer the manga, but I just take the show as it is. I think it's a fun show to just, like I said, kick back and just watch. So I'm not really interested in reading the manga, which is why I'm really excited to, wait and see what's going to happen, in the next few months with the development of the show. Like Jules over here was making the point of the Ten Commandments and them being a lot more serious, and them having a, bigger role in this series, and not just, hey, we're the bad guys, fight us. I liked every fight with them, and I liked every development with them, even Melascula. It was kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody else got that little reference when they defeated Melascula and she turned into like a little lizard. I don't know if anybody was getting Full Metal Alchemist flashbacks to Envy, but I sure was. But overall, I thought that was a great fight, and it really showed the development of the Seven Deadly Sins and how they function as a unit, honestly.
Okay, and as much as we're saying, how good we thought that this season was, there were also some bad parts of the season. Now, I'm gonna kick it off with Bond. Okay, Bond is weird. Okay, him and Elaine's relationship is the weirdest, and every single time I see them together, it makes me cringe.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think anybody likes how they interact with each other. I don't think there's a single person who did at any point. Honestly, I've showed this show to a lot of people, recommended it to a lot of people, and if you manage to get past Meliodas's contact with Elizabeth and manage to swallow that during the first few episodes, you immediately get hit with Bond and Elaine's relationship, which let's just say, needless to say, it's more than just a little bit weird. It's on the sketchy side.
Like we said, the animation, wasn't the best, and I think that was what brought the season down a little bit. But we already covered that. I'm just gonna move on to Esterosa's character, and how I thought that they kind of wrote him very bad towards the end. During
the first half of this new season, I think they were going a really good direction with him, and he was really intimidating.
But I just don't understand why they chose towards the end to make him mentally unhinged, and he has the biggest crush on not only Elizabeth but Meliodas too. It makes
that man crush on Meliodas. I know. Me and Jules over here aren't the only ones who saw that. I'm sure there's other people out there who saw that and said, why does this man have crushes on both of them at the same time? But I feel as though, as much as we're hating on it now, it kind of evolves into the character. We got hints, and like I said, I don't read into the manga. This is pure speculation. There has to be some sort of connection between Esterosa and Mael, the one of the archangels that was killed. There just has to be, and I am assuming most of us can kind of see the direction where it's going without me actually saying anything. I don't want to make anybody mad by, you know, being right, but I just want to see where this goes, and I'm really excited for it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out and say it. The angels, like, are gay. Okay, I'm literally just gonna say it. Like, it's retarded. Okay, like like they are the worst, like people in the show. Like they are worse than the Ten Commandments. Like character wise, like they're just pieces of shit.
See, I get what you're saying, and I think the kind of point that if you kind of like look deeper into it, I don't know if it's meant to be this deep. I don't think any of the races are good. Human, giant, demon, angel. I feel like they all at one point, as we saw between the past of everybody and how they interacted with each other back in the day, I don't think any of them were good. I mean, you saw humans who would mercilessly slaughter, you know, giants, go hunting for them, and Deanne's, you know, past, and you'd see how the angels fought the demons and tried to kill them, and you saw how the humans turned on all the other races too. I feel like it's kind of just driving home to the fact that, you know, evil and good is all in the eye of the beholder. If you want something to be evil, it's going to be evil to you, and I feel like that was kind of the point they were trying to make with this season.
All right. I mean, I can see that, but like for the past 2 seasons, they're making the angels seem like the best people in the world.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Season 2, we did see how Baritras, the king's brother, sacrificed himself for an angel that didn't seem any at all interested in what was going on, and I feel like that was kind of a hint saying, maybe the angels aren't the saviors that are going to bring peace upon the land. I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. Honestly, I mean, I know everyone, you know, it's on their mind if whether he's your favorite character or not. He's personally one of my favorite characters in the show. Escanor, you just gotta love the banter of the guy in this show and how he interacts with people. Like it never fails to make me smirk how full of himself he is, and how much of just like a brute he is.
Oh my god, when he went up and said, "Sorry, I can't, you know, I have to look down upon someone weaker than me," when he was talking to the angel, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
He gets up, he jumps on top, and he said, "I'm sorry, I just can't stand to be looked down upon."
And like the angel was genuinely confused on how strong he was. It was like, dude, how did you get this power? Like, you stole it from somebody? He's not like, nah, bro, I was born with this because I'm that great.
Yeah, you know, you know, they're hinting at a lot of things. Like the angel seemed very confused why Escanor wasn't dead yet because he's holding in all this power. We see glimpses of Escanor coughing up blood. We don't know what's really happening. Is his body like shutting down? What's happening? Can he hold his power anymore? We saw him fight, you know, Meliodas in a little an anticlimactic fight. You know, a little bit hype for, you know, not too much actually going on. Still, overall, I think it was a good fight. But we saw how he transformed into the One and was able to actually, you know, making Meliodas unconscious. I don't know what's happening with, you know, Escanor. He looks pretty off this season, towards the end at least, as far as like his, you know, stamina goes. But hopefully next season, you know, we see more of him and we see more of him fighting.
All right, I thought Elizabeth was awful this season. Like I hated her more this season. Like they somehow like just made her more obnoxious this season. I just don't know how to explain it.
See, this is where me and Jules kind of disagree. You know, I wasn't a fan of her character, and I still am not that big of a fan of her character. But her character is more of like a necessary evil. Like you gotta have her character, or else you don't really have a show. And honestly, I felt like at least she gained a purpose by becoming an angel and becoming a reincarnation and explaining like the actual struggle between Meliodas and what's going on in his life. As much as, you know, I feel as though they could have went a different direction with how they presented her character, I feel as though it's a necessary character to have, or else you don't really have much of a story or plot. The lack of silence from Jules is because I hushed him, and I'm 100% right on this aspect. Sorry to break it to you. But honestly, like I said, this season, everybody who's giving it hate, everyone's saying, oh, this is the worst show ever now, you're wrong. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you watched the season and you watched it for what it was and you took it for what it was and you thought about these things too, chances are you thought it was a great season and you want to see more of it just like we do.
Alright guys, at the end of the day you gotta realize, this is a shonen, okay? Most shonens really don't make any sense, and I really honestly just watch shonens just to enjoy them, okay? Like, you gotta look at things for you know, like, at face value. Like, people look at things
People get too hung up on these things, man. Like, they will be sitting there like crying about like, oh, this one frame of animation at point 1326. If you keep stopping your video, you'll see right here, Meliodas, he does this little weird thing with his mouth. That's just, see, like, you can't be like that. You gotta look at it at face value. When you're watching a show, when everybody, you know, they get so happy when they see a Naruto episode, and then, you know, the animation is garbage, they'll say, oh, well, it's because they release it once a week, or they're on a tight schedule.
It's literally what people were doing with Naruto early on. Like, you look at images of people, you know, they just keep stopping and stopping and stopping, so then they can find something wrong with it.
It's the same thing with Super at first. Everybody was like stopping at like weird frames, and it's like, yeah, but when you're watching it all at once, it doesn't look like that. I mean, we're getting off topic, but just the whole point of it is like, don't think everything needs to be the best. Don't think that as long as the story is good, as long as it's entertaining, that's all that matters in the end.
And honestly, don't listen to any other people. Like, honestly, I would highly recommend watching the season. You know, like, mainly story-wise, because, you know, it did fill in a lot of the gaps from last season, and it made a lot of the things, you know, make more sense. So, people who are, you know, saying, nah, I consider, you know, season, you know, 2 or 3, however, you know, you watch, you know, season 3 on Netflix, the ending of the show, I just find that retarded. You know, people won't even watch it, and then, you know, they'll trust people's opinion. You know, I was highly skeptical going into the season, and I wasn't really expecting much, but, you know, it
delivered. It
did.
People think that they're martyrs or something. They think that they're like the heroes, the saviors of everybody. Oh, I'm not gonna watch this season because, you know, I saw clips of it. I saw a couple episodes in, you know, in the sub when it was coming out. This is just garbage. Dude, if you're that type of person, you're not a martyr. You're not a hero. You're not saving anybody. You're just somebody who thinks that hating on popular things and hating on things that other people like makes you a unique person. You're not unique for hating on something that other people like, and you're not cool for hating on people for liking something. You need to take things for face value. You need to understand that this is just a show and you should just like it or not like it. That's the end of the day. You don't need to dismantle it. You don't need to look at it. You don't need to break it apart. You just need to understand that, yeah, this is a show that I either like or don't like.
Yeah, you know, basically, you know, what he said, you just gotta go with your own opinion. I wouldn't read anything anyone else that says, you know, go into it, you know, with, like, you know, a fresh mindset and not what other people, you know, tell you. So, to wrap up the video, I need to ask you, what would you, out of 10, give this season?
Me personally, people might, you know, like, disagree with this. This wasn't. This show is one of my favorite shows, and I will say this: I thought it was a solid 9 out of 10. You know, maybe that's a little too high, but like I said, the story, how everything fit together, I can look past all those other little points that we mentioned before, and I can see it for what it is, and I know that next season is going to deliver just as much as it did this season.
I also, you know, like the 7 Deadly Sins as a whole, and I'm going to have to go just a little bit below him. I'm going to give it an 8.5. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and I thought it delivered. And I think that's a really solid score for that season.
Yep. Thanks for watching the video. If you want more 7 Deadly Sins content, more 7 Deadly Sins discussions, follow my boy over here, Jules, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yep. And, you know, I'm going to link his channel down below. He doesn't really post, but, you know, you can go over there and check out the 2 videos that he has.
Okay, chill out, man.
And you go ahead and you know, sub to him. But with all that being said, see you guys in the next video.